ॐ शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करभावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानामेकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதி ஹிருதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. வாகர்த்தாவிவ சம்பிருக்தௌ வாகர்த்த பிரதிபத்தயே जगदः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रीपार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं कूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम्। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणम्। नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि आर्तान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी द्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयम्। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशीविभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलाधरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടുമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മന്യനെ കുമ്പീരേണ്ടാത്തോരു രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കെന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so let's finish off the 100th Dasakam, right, and then we'll get into the review. So Vasanta Garu, you can be a student. Sundari, you can be a student. Okay, so we'll start with stanza 7. Anghe Panchangaraghaihi Atishaya Vikasat Saurabha Kristalokam Leenanekatriloki Vitatimapi Krisham Bibhratam Madhyavallim Shakrashmanystatapto Jwalakanakanibham Pitachelam Dhadhanam Dhyayamo Deeptarashmi Sputamanirashana Kinkini Manditam Tvam. So we started seeing in this how Bhattaripat was getting the final vision of the Lord in front of him. He starts by saying, Agre Pashyami, I'm seeing right in front of me, right? I'm seeing this, and he starts describing. And he starts from the top, from the hair, and then he's now descending down. And in the 6th stanza, we saw about how he's meditating on Kantadesham, or on the neck area, where he's talking about the Kaustuba jewel, then he's coming down, then he's talking about the Srivatsa mark and all of that. That was what was in the 6th one. So 7th one, as he's now coming down, he's now talking about, I am now meditating, I'm able to dhyayami, I'm able to see, you meditate on your body, the general torso. So he says this torso of yours, at least the Guruvayur idol also is made up of 5 ingredients, right? Which is kind of the lubrication or the oil they put on the idol itself. So he's saying that is so fragrant. See, even before you can see something, the fragrance hits you first. So he's saying, I'm now able to smell this fragrance, which is, so attractive that it is going to attract anybody from any distance. Just the fragrance itself is going to be attractive, right? And especially the unguent, or as they call the oil or the lubrication they put on the Guruvayur idol is actually also supposed to help for any diseases related to Vayu. Because anyway, Guruvayur is Vayu related, right? Air related diseases. So even that medicine that they apply on the idol is also used as a medicine. Anyway, he says, I'm now able to get this fragrance which is so attractive. And then he's saying your body, when he's describing the body, he's saying it is solid, it's rock like sapphire, very strong body, firm body. However, then he's coming down and saying the waist portion of yours is very slender. Although this waist of yours is carrying the weights of all the 3 worlds. So all the entire, we've discussed in Vishnu Sahasranamam, even here, Tribhuvana Vapusham, the entire 3 worlds, which is the 14 worlds, which is broken into 3, all of that you are carrying, but I don't see that weight in your hips or in your waist area, right? Your waist is still very slender, although you are carrying the weight of the entire world. And then Pita Chelam Dharanam. So this we're going to continue in the next stanza also. Pita Chelam means a yellow garment, yellow silk garment. So you're wearing a yellow silk garment on your lower torso of your body. So it's kind of coming down, he's describing the body and he's saying, I can see all this. So Ange Panchanga Ragaihi. So the Ra that you have there after Ragai, you remove that, put a Visarga and a comma. Panchanga Ragaihi, Visarga, comma. Next line, next word starts with the A. Atishaya Bikasat Saurabhakrishta Lokam. That you can't break that word, so that's one word. Saurabhakrishta Lokam, comma. Leena Neka Triloki Vitatimapi, comma. Krisham Bibhratam Madhyavallim. Valli is referring to like what do you call that? A creeper, right? Like a creeper which is there, which is hanging, right? So it's like Madhyavallim is it's like very slender, like a creeper. Anghe Panchangaraghaihi Atishaya Bikasat Saurabha Kristalokam Leenaneka Triloki Vitatimapi Krisham Bibhratam Madhyavallim.
Ange Panchangaraghaihi Atishaya Vikasat Saurabha Kristalokam Leenaneka Triloki Vitatimapi Krisham Bibhratam Madhyavallim. Ange Panchangaraghaihi Atishaya Vikasat Saurabha Kristalokam Leenaneka Triloki Vitatimapi Krisham Bibhratam Madhyavallim.
Ange Panchangaraghaihi Atishaya Vikasat Saurabha Kristalokam Leelaneka Triloki Vitatimapi Krisham Bibhratam Madhyavallim.
Sundari, and the second line first word, Leena. I heard La, Leela, Leena.
Leena. Ange Panchangaraghaihi Atishaya Vikasat Saurabha Kristalokam Leenaneka Triloki Vitatimapi Krisham Bibhratam Madhyavallim.
Shakrash Manyasta Taptoj Jwala. So there's a two ij coming there. Taptoj Jwala Kanaka Nibham, comma, Pitachelam Dhadanam, comma. Then the next fourth line, there is no pause. Dhyayamo Deepta Rashmi Sputa Mani Rashana Kinkini Manditam Tvam. Oh, so the last line I forgot to say. So, in addition to that Pita Chedam which you're wearing, you're also wearing this what is called as a girdle. Girdle is like a belt you wear, not necessarily a belt, but an extra cloth you wear around your waist, right, to keep your dhoti and everything intact, right? So that is the girdle which you are wearing, which also has kinkini manditam. It also has other bells and other ornaments in there, and that is holding your Pita Chelam around your waist. शक्राश्मन्यस्ततप्तोज्ज्वलकनकनिभं पीतचेलं दधानं ध्यायामो दीप्तरश्मिस्फुटमणिरशना किङ्किणी मण्डितं त्वाम्.
शक्राश्मन्यस्ततप्तोज्ज्वलकनकनिभं पीतचेलं दधानं ध्यायामो दीप्तिरश्मिस्फुटमणिरसना किङ्किणी मण्डितं त्वाम्.
Vasanth Garu, that fourth line, Deepta, second word. Deepta, I heard Deepti, Deepta.
शक्राश्मन्यस्ततप्तोज्ज्वलकनकनिभं पीतचेलं दधानं ध्यायामो दीप्तरश्मिस्फुटमणिरसना किङ्किणी मण्डितं त्वाम्.
चक्राश्मन्यस्ततप्तोज्ज्वलकनकनिभं पीतचेलं दधानं ध्यायामो दीप्तरश्मिस्फुटमणिरशना किङ्किणी मण्डितं त्वाम्. शक्राश्मन्यस्ततप्तोज्ज्वलकनकनिभं पीतचेलं दधानं ध्यायामो दीप्तरश्मिस्फुटमणिरशना किङ्किणी मण्डितं त्वाम्.
Stanza 8. ऊर्हो चारु तवोर्हो घनमसृणरुचौ चित्तचोरौ रमायाः विश्वक्षोभं विशङ्क्य ध्रुवमनिशमुभौ पीतचेलावृताङ्गौ आनम्राणां पुरस्तात् न्यसनधृतसमस्तार्तपाली समुद्गच्छायं जानुद्वयं च क्रमप्रतुलमनोज्ञे च जङ्घे निषेवे. Next he's saying, and now I'm meditating. Like I also said, this is also like a meditation thing, right? When if you have 5 minutes every day, then you know this dasakam by heart. Then you just have to have an indication. Okay, where am I right now? Okay, now I just did the waist. So what is there below the waist? Below the waist is a thigh. So this is talking about the thighs, right? So uru, charu, tavoru. So it's now coming next down, and now he's saying, okay, the thighs of yours. He says you have two solid, handsome thighs to the extent that Chitta Chora Ramayaha. Rama here is referring to Mahalakshmi. He's saying your thighs are so beautiful that even Mahalakshmi is actually getting captured and enamored by it, right? And you're taking her heart away. So Mahalakshmi itself's heart is getting taken away. Then the rest of the world is very easy to get captivated by your thighs. Saying that is the reason I know that you are always wearing this Pita Chelam around your waist, because you don't want to expose this to the rest of the world, because they will not be able to bear the beauty of it, right? So that's why you're covering that. So he's talking about the thighs. Next, it comes down to the Janu. Janu means your knees. So Janu Dvayam. So two knees that you actually have. So now the knees have the knee caps, right? The bulge which is there. So he says what these knee caps are, these are like caskets. These are holding something, so that when somebody is completely prostrating to you, when somebody completely surrenders everything to you, whatever they want, right, is stored in that kneecap. So we already saw in the first dasakam how one of the difference, right? So if you kind of think of it, you go to a company, you want some favor to be done. So you have all these hierarchies, right? So when you want something very basic, you go to the first level person. Then you want something more, you go to the next level person. You don't go to the CEO level and go ask for something very basic. It's a waste of your time, waste of the CEO's time also. So similarly, he says, when somebody wants something very trivial, like sensory things, why will somebody come and ask it to you? It's not needed. It's a waste of your time, waste of all their effort also. So only when somebody wants liberation, which nobody can give except you, That is the only thing they'll have to come and ask you. But irrespective of that, and we also saw in the first Dasakam how you not only give what the devotees ask for or want for, you give way more than that, and you also give the liberation of that is the Namranam Sannidatte, which we say in the beginning of Dhyana Slokam also. So similarly, he says here, your knees are caskets which are holding whatever your devotees want. So whoever completely surrenders to you and falls to you, you give them everything that they are asking for. And then he's going down. So after the thighs, we saw the knees. Now you're going down, and he's saying your feet or the legs, right? The legs are, are narrow, and then they are, it talks about a tapering and beautiful forelegs, the front of the legs that he's seeing. So uru, charu, tavoru, all long oos, comma, ghana, masrina, ruchau, comma, chitta chorau ramayaha, comma, Vishwa Kshobam Vishankya, comma. Next word, Dhruvam Anisha Mubhav. If you want to break it, or you can say it together, Dhruvam Anisha Mubhav. Pita Chela Vritangau. Urhu Charu Tavoru Ghanamasruna Ruchau Chitta Chora Uramayaha Vishwa Kshobam Vishankya Dhruvam Anisha Mubhav Pita Chela Vritangau.
Uru charu tavoru ghanamasruna ruchau chittachorau ramayaha kshobam nisankhya dhruvamanisamubhau petachelavritangau. Uru charu tavoru ghanamasruna ruchau chittachorau ramayaha vikshobam visankhya dhruvamanisamubhau petachelavritangau.
ऊरु चारु तवोरु घनमसृण रुचौ चित्तचोरौ रमायाः विश्वक्षोभं विशङ्क्य ध्रुवमनिशम् उभौ पीतचेलावृताङ्गौ. ऊरु चारु तवोरु घनमसृण रुचौ चित्तचोरौ रमायाः विश्वक्षोभं विशङ्क्य ध्रुवमनिशम् उभौ पीतचेलावृताङ्गौ.
Anamranam Purastat. So you have two in letter there. Remove one of them, put a it. Purastat, comma. The next one starts with the other in. Nyasana Dhrita Samastartha Pali Samudgachayam. So you put a plus at the end of that line. So Samudgachayam Janudvayam Cha. And then a comma. So I'll repeat again. First, the third line, Anamranam Purastat it, comma. Then the rest of the line is together. Then after the fourth line, Janudvayam Cha, and then put a comma. Krama Prutula Manogne Cha Janghe Nisheve. Anamranam Purastat Nyasana Dhrita Samastartha Pani Samudgachayam Janudvayam Cha Krama Prutula Manogne Cha Janghe Nisheve.
Anamranam purastatu nyasanadhruta samastartha pali samudgachayam janudvayam cha kamapruthula manogne cha janghe nisheve. Anamranam purastatu nyasanadhruta samastartha pali samudgachayam janudvayam cha kamapruthula manogne cha janghe nisheve.
आनम्राणां पुरस्तात् न्यसनधृत समस्तार्थ पाली समुद्गच्छायं जानुद्वयं च क्रमपृथुल मनोग्ने च जङ्घे निषेवे. आनम्राणां पुरस्तात् न्यसनधृत समस्तार्थ पाली समुद्गच्छायं जानुद्वयं च क्रमपृथुल मनोग्ने च जङ्घे निषेवे.
Stanza 9. Manjeeram manjunathaiриవ पदभजनं श्रेय इत्यालपन्थं पादाग्रं भ्रान्तिमज्जत् प्रणतजनमनो मन्दरोद्धारकूर्मम् उत्तुङ्गा ताम्रराजन्नकरहिमकर ज्योत्स्नया चाश्रितानां सन्तापध्वान्तहन्त्रीं ततिमनुकलये मङ्गलाम् अङ्गुलीनाम्. So like we were studying at the beginning of the Dasakam, right? Why did Bhattari part start from the head? Because like when we all say think of Guruvayurappan in your mind, all of us think about the face. I don't think anybody naturally your eyes go and say, I want to look at your feet first, right? Or for any god for that matter, we always think about the face of the god, right? But Bhartrihari says, no, that's wrong. He's saying you have to focus on your feet. He says, as he's going down, we saw the legs. Now he's coming to the anklets, right? So he's saying you are wearing these anklets. I will tell you why. These anklets which you're wearing are now making a sound. And this sound that is coming out of your anklet is an indication how Pada Bhajanam Shreya, that the highest of things you can actually pray is not to the face, not to the body or the head, it is to your feet, right? Because that is showing about the excellence of worshipping your feet. Why the worshipping of your feet is the greatest, that's what those anklets are actually telling. And he says, just like how in Kurma Avataram, the Lord took the form of a tortoise, lifted the Mandara mountain and saved everybody. Anybody who is completely surrendering and falling on your feet, that feet is the one which lifts everybody up. So that's why he says the feet is the most important part of your body, not your face, not your entire body. Just the feet. That's the most important one. And the examples, as you all know, and you all know about, when we spoke about Gajendra Moksham, right, where we said Sharanagadi, you have to completely surrender, right? Till the last minute, Gajendra was also fighting for several thousands of years, we spoke about, and finally when he was absolutely no refuge, absolutely no choice, and then he finally gave up, that was when the Lord came. So he had to completely surrender. Same thing happened with Draupadi, right? She was trying her hard as much as she can to hold on to that one layer of cloth that she had, and to the extent that she even was biting onto the last piece of cloth. That's what she was holding it. And then when she was about to lose that, that's when she called out to Govinda, right? So when you completely surrender as if there is no choice, you always surrender to the feet of the Lord, right? Saying that is where, I'm completely surrendering to you. So when you surrender to the feet of the Lord, that's what is going to lift everybody up. Just like how you then came as Kurma Avataram and lifted the Mandara mountain. So similarly, he says, that's why your feet is that's the most auspicious part of your body. And then it also talks about, at the very end, it talks about the nails, saying the nails, the light which is coming out of the nails, which is a reflection of how it removes all the darkness or the sadness of all your devotees, because your Pada Bhajanam Shreya, because worshipping of your feet is the most important part. So that's why he starts with the head and then finally comes down to the feet, because you always save the best for the last, right? So Manjiram Manjunadairiva, Pada Bhajanam Shreya Ityalapantam, Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranata Jana Mano Mandarodhara. Mandara Uddhara, reflecting the Mandara mountain. So Mandarodhara Kurmam. So second line has no pause. Manjiram Manjunadhairiva Padabhajanam Shreya Ityalapantam Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranata Janamano Mandarodhara Kurmam.
Manjiram Manjunadairiva Padabhajanam Shreya Ityalapantam Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranata Janamano Mandarodhara Kurmam. Manjiram Manjunadairiva Padabhajanam Shreya Ityalapantam Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranata Janamano Mandarodhara Kurmam.
Manjiram Manjunadairiva Padabhajanam Shreya Ityalapantam Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranatajana Mano Mandarod Uddhara Kurmam.
Actually, Sundari, and the Uddhara, you don't have to break it. It's Mandarodhara. It kind of flows together.
Manjiram Manjunadairiva Padabhajanam Shreya Ityalapantam Padagram Bhranti Majjat Pranatajana Mano Mandarodhara Kurmam.
Uttunga Tamra Rajan Nakara, if you want to break it, Rajan Nakara Himakara Jyotsnaya Chashritanam. So that line is also together, comma at the very end. Santapa Dwanta Hantrim, comma Tatimanu Kalaye Mangalam Angulinam, if you want to break it. Uttunga Tamra Rajan Nakara Himakara Jyotsnaya Chashritanam Santapa Dwanta Hantrim Tatimanu Kalaye Mangalam Angulinam.
उत्तुङ्गा ताम्रराजन्नखरहिमकरज्योत्स्नया चाश्रितानां सन्तापध्वान्तहन्त्रीं ततिमनुकलये मङ्गलामङ्गुलीनाम् उत्तुङ्गा ताम्रराजन्नखरहिमकरज्योत्स्नया चाश्रितानां सन्तापध्वान्तहन्त्रीं ततिमनुकलये मङ्गलामङ्गुलीनाम्
उत्तुङ्गा ताम्रराजन्नखर हिमकर ज्योत्स्नया चाश्रितानां सन्तापध्वान्तहन्त्रीं ततिमनुकलये मङ्गलाम् अङ्गुलीनाम् उत्तुङ्गा ताम्रराजन्नखर हिमकर ज्योत्स्नया चाश्रितानां सन्तापध्वान्तहन्त्रीं ततिमनुकलये मङ्गलाम् अङ्गुलीनाम्.
Stanza 10. योगीन्द्राणां त्वदङ्घेष्वधिकसुमधुरं मुक्तिभाजां निवासो भक्तानां कामवर्षद्युतरुकिसलयं नाथ ते पादमूलं नित्यं चित्तस्थितं मे पवनपुरपते कृष्णकारुण्यसिन्धो हृत्वा निःशेषतापान् प्रदिशतु परमानन्दसन्दोहलक्ष्मीम्. So this is kind of pretty much wrapping the entire Narayaneeyam, because the last one is slightly different, the 11th stanza of it. So as you know, Bhatripat starts with Sandranandhava Bodhatmakam. He starts the first stanza, first line, first word. He ends with Paramananda Sandoha Lakshmi, right? Says, you who is nothing but the supreme bliss himself, right? Who is just in this form as Krishna, you are the supreme bliss. So now we spoke in the previous stanza about how Pada Bhajanam Shreya, the focusing on the feet that's the most important part of the Lord's body. But he says, even among your feet, the bottom of your feet is the most important. So if you have to pick one place, even in the feet, he says, don't even focus on the top of the feet, although the top of the feet you lift everybody, but he says you have to always focus on the bottom of the Lord's feet. He says, because we always look for reviews before you buy, saying, has somebody else reviewed and said this is the best, right? So similarly here he says the reason for that is, even the Yogindranam, even the greatest of yogis have said that the bottom of your feet is where I want to be. So the greatest of yogis have already said that, and there's no doubt for us. We also have to just go with that review, right? He says that's why Bhatripat says, even I am now surrendering to the bottom of your feet, Pada Moolam, at the very bottom of your feet, right? Which is Mukti Bhajam Nivaso, where all the people who have been liberated in the past are all sitting at the bottom of your feet. So that's where even I want to be when I get liberated. So I'm also worshipping on the bottom of your feet, where Bhaktanam Kama Varsha. So for devotees, whatever they wish for, when they wish for liberated ones, that's the bottom of your feet is the one which is going to give everything. Oh Natha, oh Lord. Then he ends on saying, Nityam Chitta Sthitam Me. He says, may this always be permanently in my mind, in my chitta, in my mind. What? The bottom of your feet. So even if I forget your face, that's okay. I want to always remember in my mind the bottom of your feet. Oh Krishna, oh Karunya Sindhu, one who's full of compassion, right? So please, Hritva Nishesha Tapan, please destroy all the sorrows I have. And then along with Sandoha Lakshmi, then I should have an abundant flow of prosperity. Here, Lakshmi should not be related to material wealth. It should be talked to prosperity. Prosperity could also be knowledge, right? So not having any worries, not having anything. So similarly, so please eradicate all the sorrows and the ailments I have, and please that there will be an abundant flow of Lakshmi towards me, right? So he ends this one. So this is the kind of the very last of it, because the last stanza itself is like more like a summary, right, or a wrap up. So but this is the pretty much the key one. So Yogindranam Twadangeshwadika. It's Twadangeshu Adhika. That's the three words in there, but you say it together. Twadangeshwadika Sumadhuram. So Madhuram itself is sweet. Sumadhuram. Su, if you add as a prefix, that means it's the most. So it's the most sweet. So Sumadhuram, comma, Mukti Bhajam Nivaso, comma, Bhaktanam Kama Varsha Dyutaru Kisalayam, comma, Natha, the comma. So it's not Natha, it is Natha, right? No R then. Natha, comma, Te Padamulam. Yogindranam Twadankheshwadika Sumadhuram Mukti Bhajam Nivaso Bhaktanam Kama Varsha Dyutaru Kisalayam Natha Te Padamulam.
योगीन्द्राणां त्वदङ्गेष्वधिकसुमधुरं मुक्तिभाजां निवासो भक्तानां कामवर्ष्यद्युतरुकिसलयं नाथ ते पादमूलं योगीन्द्राणां त्वदङ्गेष्वधिकसुमधुरं मुक्तिभाजां निवासो भक्तानां कामवर्ष्यद्युतरुकिसलयं नाथ ते पादमूलम्.
योगीन्द्राणाम् अङ्गेष्वधिकसुमधुरम् मुक्तिभाजां निवासो भक्तानां कामवर्षद्युतरुकिसलयम् नाथ ते पादमूलम् योगीन्द्राणां त्वदङ्गेष्वधिकसुमधुरम् मुक्तिभाजां निवासो भक्तानां कामवर्षद्युतरुकिसलयम् नाथ ते पादमूलम्.
Nath, this is pause, okay. Nityam chitta sthitham me, comma, pavana purapate, comma, Krishna karunya sindho, comma, hritva nishesha tapan, comma, pradishatu paramananda sandoha lakshmi. Nityam chitta sthitham me, pavana purapate, Krishna karunya sindho, hritva nishesha tapan, pradishatu paramananda sandoha lakshmi.
नित्यं चित्तस्थितं मे पवनपुरपते कृष्णकारुण्यसिन्धो कृत्वा निःशेषतापान् प्रदिशतु परमानन्दसन्दोहलक्ष्मीम्. नित्यं चित्तस्थितं मे पवनपुरपते कृष्णकारुण्यसिन्धो कृत्वा निःशेषतापान् प्रदिशतु परमानन्दसन्दोहलक्ष्मीम्.
नित्यं चित्तस्थितं मे पवनपुरपते कृष्णकारुण्यसिन्धो कृत्वा निःशेषतापान् प्रदिशतु परमानन्दसन्दोहलक्ष्मीम्. नित्यं चित्तस्थितं मे पवनपुरपते कृष्णकारुण्यसिन्धो कृत्वा निःशेषतापान् प्रदिशतु परमानन्दसन्दोहलक्ष्मीम्.
This is a stanza you can say every day, like a regular prayer, right? You can add it to part of your prayers there, the 10th one. So stanza 11. Ajñātvā te mahatvam yadiha nigatitam vishvanāta kshametāha stotram chaitat sahasrottaram adhikataram tvatprasadāya bhūyāt dvedhā nārāyanīyam श्रुतिचुष झनुषा स्तुत्यता वर्णनेन स्फीतं लीलावतारैः इदमिह कुरुताम् आयुरारोग्य सौख्यम्. This is the very last. So we can normally do Kshama Prarthana, right? In Lord Devi Mahatmyam and everything, we do Kshama Prarthana. So this is like a very short Kshama Prarthana. He's saying, without knowing, see, nobody knows your greatness, right? So when we do the rest of the chapters later, like 96 and all that, he talks about the greatness of the Lord. And he says, I don't have words. My mind cannot comprehend your greatness. So when you try to describe somebody and say how great you are, it's like actually doing an offense to that person when you don't know how great that person is, because you won't be really doing justice, right? So he is saying, Ajñātva, I don't have the knowledge of your greatness. So whatever I did, whatever I can, I talked about your greatness. So please, Kshameta, please forgive me for any mistakes I might have done, or not have, for things I might not have said or things I might have said wrong. So whatever it is, please forgive me, because I really don't understand your greatness to the extent I'm supposed to, right? And then he says this stotram, whatever we learned, whatever the entire Narayaneeyam, which is composed of 1,000 plus, right? Because it's got 1,036, right? Because it's 100 dashakams. Dashakam generally means 10. So that should be 1,000, but it's more than 1,000 stanzas. So the hymn, which is more than thousands of verses, right? Tvat prasadaya bhuyat. It is nothing but a source of your grace for anybody who is listening to it, anybody who is chanting it, right? Who is doing it with meditation or thinking about it. It is nothing but a source of grace for everybody who is doing this. And Sutyata Varnanena, like, along with he's saying it's in accordance with the Vedas. By Vedas, he also means an extension, the Puranas, because like we said, all of this is taken from Bhagavatam. So not very I don't think there's anything which Bhattaripada, except for the 100th Dashakam, everything else is taken from Bhagavatam, right? First and the 100th Dashakam, because that is Bhattaripada's own thing. So he says everything is in alignment with whatever the Vedas have said, what the Puranas have said, and it's talking about your Leela and Avataram. Talks about all your Avatarams, it talks about your Leelas, especially to Krishna, and the next session that we are going to see in the next 30 is all about Krishna Avataram, right? It goes to excruciating detail about Krishna Avataram. So it's all about that. And whoever listens to it, Shrutishu cha Jhanusha, whoever listens to it, whoever chants it, may they be blessed with Ayur Arogya Saukyam. Ayuhu means long life, Arogyam means good health, and Saukyam means blessed with happiness, right? So with this, but the part ends this the Narayaniyam portion of it. Now the interesting thing on this is, in addition to being like an amazing Sanskrit scholar, Bhattaripada was also a mathematician. So you can Google this later, or I'll send you a link. There is something called as a Katapayati Sankhya. So what that means is you write all the letters, right? And then each letter is assigned a number. And then when you stitch the sentence, you have to pick the number of each of the letter and then you multiply it. And then it comes up with a number. So that's why, when you say Rama, Rama, Rama 3 times, the Ra is 2, Ma is 5. So 2 times 5 is 10, 10 times 10 times 10 is 1000. So that's why you say Rama Rama. When you say Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattvalyam Rama Nama Varanane, it's equal to saying Sahasranamam, because it already has 1000 in it, and the number 1000 is embedded in it. So similarly, when you take this Ayur Arogya Saukyam and then you put that number, it comes up with 1,712,000 something, okay, which is the day of the Kali Yuga in which Bhattaripada finished writing this Narayaniyam. Okay, that is referring to the coming to the day. So now when you put the day, convert it to the English calendar, it is coming to 27th November 1587 or something like that is the day in which he completed this thing, completed the Narayaniyam. So that is another, and I'll send you the link so you can also do your own research on that. So that is based on the Katapayati Sankhya, which is the mathematical equation of that. So this one kind of the last line has 2 meanings. One is of course Ayur Arogya Saukyam. Second is the day in which Narayaniyam was composed in 1587. So that is the last stanza there. So typically, when we do a Parayanam, we do the 10th and the 11th one, we do it 3 times when you wrap it up and you do the full 100, right? Not today, but when you do the Parayanam normally. So Ajñātvā te mahatvam, yadiha nigatitam, Vishwanatha kshametaha, stotram chaitat sahasrottaram adhikataram, tvat prasadaya bhuyat. Ajñātvā te mahatvam yadiha nigatitam Vishwanatha kshametaha stotram chaitat sahasrottaram adhikataram tvat prasadaya bhuyat.
Ajñātvā te mahatvam yadiha nigaditam Viswanatha kshamedhaha stotram chetas sahasrottaram adhikataram tvat prasadaya bhuyat. Ajñātvā te mahatvam yadiha nigaditam Viswanatha kshamedhaha stotram chetas sahasrottaram adhikataram tvat prasadaya bhuyat.
Ajñātvā te mahatvam yadiha nigaditam Vishwanatha kshametaha stotram chetat sahasrottaram adhikataram tvat prasadaya bhuyat. Ajñātvā te mahatvam yadiha nigaditam Vishwanatha kshametaha stotram chaitat sahasrottaram adhikataram tvat prasadaya bhuyat.
The second line, there's no pause in the middle, so I think you can get it, you can fix it later, right now. Dveda Narayaniyam. Oh, I forgot to say that. So he says this is Narayaniyam in 2 reasons, 2 ways. One, because it is composed by Narayana Bhattatri. So because it's composed by Narayana Bhattatri, it's called Narayaniyam. Also because it's devoted, it's offered to Narayana, of course. So that's why it's also called Narayaniyam. He says this Narayaniyam it's Narayaniyam for 2 reasons, right? So Dveda Narayaniyam, Shrutishu cha Janusha, Stutyata Varnanena, Sphitam Leelavatāraihi. So the ra that is there, you remove it, put a visarga and a comma, Leelavatāraihi, comma, Idamiha, next word starts with the E. Idamiha kurutam ayur arogya saukyam. So the ra you can break it, just ease. Ayur arogya saukyam. Dvedha narayaniyam shruti chusha janusha stutyata varnanena sphitam leelavatāraihi idamiha kurutam ayur arogya saukyam.
Dvedha narayaniyam Shrutishu cha janusha stutyata varnanena Petam leelavatāraihi idamiha kuruta mayurarogya saukhyam. Dvedha narayaniyam Shrutishu cha janusha stutyata varnanena Petam leelavatāraihi idamiha kuruta mayurarogya saukhyam.
Dvedha narayaniyam Shrutishu cha janusha stutyata varnanena Spitam leelavatāraihi idamiha kurutam ayurarogya saukyam. Dvedha narayaniyam Shrutishu cha janusha stutyata varnanena Spitam leelavatāraihi idamiha kurutam ayurarogya saukyam.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. So that completes the 100. So, before we get into the Parayanam, I really wanted to offer my sincere thanks to all of you, because I could not find a better way to spend my Sunday mornings, right? Because if these classes don't exist, then I'll be waking up late. So definitely want to thank all of you for that. And like we said at the beginning itself, right? You see, we only completed 20%. We only completed 21 Dasakams, right? But the reason we did it this way is it's very difficult, I understand, for everybody to commit to signing up for 100 Dashakams. It takes 2 years. I finished 4 batches, and the 4th batch is getting done next week, right? It takes 2 years, is a lot of commitment for everybody. So I think the reason we broke it up this way was, at least by doing this 20, it's enough of an appetizer for you to now want to taste the main entree, right? Put it in simple words. So I hope this was enough of an appetizing journey for all of you to now say, I'm curious to see what is the next 80, right? And that is going to be the next session that next set of batches that we'll do, right? So first of all, definitely thanks for that. And, like we always are, we live in a world where we measure the outcomes to see what have I got at the very end, right? So the only question I will ask all of you to ask yourself is, did my devotion to Krishna or Bhakti increase from where I was from the first Dashakam to the 100th Dashakam which we finished today? If you can see some quantifiable increase in your Bhakti and devotion, I think you are on the right path, right? That's all there is. Even if you're not able to chant it all fluently, that all comes second. I know a lot of you have also improved in chanting I remember from how you were in the first Dashakam to how you are right now, right? So that is all an added advantage, right? But the real thing is whether the devotion has increased. That should be the measure, right, of how we look at it. So anyway, so with that, we'll stop this, right? And then we'll go into the quick Parayanam. Like we've done it in the past, I think whatever order we listed, we'll just go in that order, right? No breaks, we'll just continuously go. And if it spills over into the next class, we'll continue the same thing in the next class as well. So, we'll do it that way. And I won't stop or interrupt unless anyone has any questions.
Rajesh, we also appreciate you waking up early and doing this for us. Really appreciate
it. No problem.
Thank you so much, Ji.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you so much, Rajesh. It's been really helpful, and then we're enjoying every session. Every day I'm looking forward to Sunday mornings to see what is going to be the next,
No, absolutely. And like I was telling, the next part is even more amazing because it's all about Krishnavataram. We're going to spend 30 Dashakams on Krishnavataram, right? So you will not get, you get so much of Krishna stuff, right? That's what is going to drive more of it. So,
Even thank you, Rajesh. And one more thing, we must say thanks to your family. You are spending your family time with us every day, every Sunday.
My family is sleeping nicely, Radha Guru. They're sleeping. No, absolutely.
So we are waking them up with our prayers Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
Rajesh, I think this is the best thing one can do on a Sunday, right? I think waking up to this, looking forward to this class every weekend, right? It's the best thing that can happen to anyone. Thanks for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rajesh.
Yeah, very much.
Thanks, Rajesh. One quick question, very curious. Are you able to say all this by heart without saying the books? How long have you been doing this?
I mean, I learned it when I was small, right? I learned it when I was 14 or 15. at that time. And then of course you go through everything in life, right? You go through a period where you chant it regularly, then you go through a period where you don't for a long time when you hit your 20s, right? And then you recapture things back. So I kind of know it all by heart, but yeah, but but I don't do it by heart unless somebody else is chanting, then I can close my eyes and say, but I don't try to do it that way otherwise. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, so who is starting first? Uma, right? Uma Ningana first.
सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मगमनुपमितं कालदेशावदित्यां निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनरुरुपुरुषात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत्पादि साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्दभाग्यं जनानाम् एवं दुर्लभ्य वस्तुं यदि सुलभदया हस्तलब्धे यदन्यत् तन्वा वाचा धिया वा वदति पदजनः क्षुद्रदैव स्फुटेयम् एते तावत् वयं तु स्थिरतरमनसा विश्वपीठा बहत्यै निःशेषात्मानमेनं कुरु पवनपुराधीशमेव आश्रयामः सत्त्वं यत् पराभ्याम् अपरिकलनतो निर्मलं तेन तावत् भूदैर्भूतेन्द्रियैस्ते वपुरिति बहुशः श्रूयते व्यासवाक्यं तत्त्वच्छत्वात् यदच्छादितपरसुखचित्गर्भनिर्भासरूपं तस्मिन् धन्या रमन्ते श्रुतिमतिमधुरे शुक्रहे विग्रहे ते निष्कम्बे नित्यपूर्णे निरवधि परमानन्दपीयूषरूपे निर्लीनानेकमुक्ता बलिसुभकतमे निर्मल ब्रह्मसिन्धौ कल्लोलुल्लासतुल्यं खलु विमलतरं तत्त्वमाहुस्तदात्मा तस्मानो निष्कलत्वं सकलैर्विवतः त्वत्कलास्तेव भूमन् निर्व्यापारोऽपि निष्कारणमजपदसे यत्क्रियामीक्षणाख्यां तेनैवोतेति लीना प्रकृतिरसति कल्पाभिकल्पाति काले तस्या संक्षुब्धमंशं तमधिरोधायकं तत्त्वरूपं तत्त्वं धृत्वा तदासि स्वमहिमविभवाकुण्डवैकुण्ठरूपं तत्ये प्रत्यक्रताराधरललितकला यावलीकेलिकारं लावण्यस्यैकसारं सुकृतिजनदृशां पूर्णपुण्यावतारं लक्ष्मीनिश्चङ्गलीला निलयनम् अमृतस्यन्तसन्तोहमन्तः सिञ्जत्सञ्चिन्तकानां वपरनुकलये मारुताकारनाद कष्टाते सृष्टिचेष्टा बहुतरपवके दावः जीवभाजाम् इत्येवं पूर्वमालो चिदमदितमया नैव मत्याभिजाने नो जे जीवा कथं वा मधुरतरमिदं त्वत्पपुष् चित्रशास्त्रं नेत्रैस्तोत्रैश्च भीत्वा परमरससुधाम्बोधिपूरे रमेरन् नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरश्चैरभ्यर्थितानपि अर्थान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकबलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुत्रं तं चक्रवाटी द्रुमवविलसति व्यक्तमद्विप्रजोऽयं कारुण्यात् काममन्यं तदति खलु परे स्वात्मदस्त्वं विशेषात् ऐश्वर्याधीशदेन्ये जगति परजने स्वात्मनोऽभीश्वरत्वं त्वैरुच्चैरारमन्ति प्रतिपदमधुरे चेतनातीतभाग्याः त्वं सात्मा राम एव यतुलगुणगणाकारशौरे नमस्ते ऐश्वर्यं शङ्करादीश्वर विनियमनं विश्वतेजोहराणां तेजस्संहारि वीर्यं विमलभियशो निष्पृहैषोपहीतम् अङ्गा सदा श्रीरखिल विदति न क्वापि तेजस् ते शङ्खवार्ता तत्त्वाताकारवासिं मुरहर भगवत् सप्तमुख्याश्रयो श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः.
Dasakam 12.
Sorry, I was just going to say that just say your Dashakam number, and if you're able to, say the title of the Dashakam also.
Okay. Dasakam 12 Varahavadara Varnanam. Swayam bhuvo manurato janasargasilo drishtva mahima samaye salile nimatnam shishtaramavacharanam bhavadangri seva dushtasayam murijanaihi sagasatyaloke kashtam prajashrujadi mayyavanir nimatna sthanam sharoja bhava kalpaya that prajanam इत्येवमेष कदितो मनुना स्वयं भूः अम्बोरुहाश तव पादयुगं विच्छिन्दीत्.
The tune வேற மாதிரி இருக்கு. Are you able to say it in the original tune? Help பண்ணுமா? Ha ha vibho jalamaham nyapibham purastat. அந்த tune.
Ha ha vibho jalamaham nyapibham purastat adhyabhimajjati mahi kimaham karomi इत्थं त्वदङ्घ्रियुगलं शरणं यतोऽस्य नासा पुरात् सम्भवः शिशुकोलरूपी अङ्गुष्ठमात्रवहुरित्पतितः पुरस्तात् भूयोदकुम्भि चतुषश्चम्जृम्भतास्त्वम् अभ्रे तथाविधमुदीक्ष्य पवन्दमुच्चैः विस्मेरतां विधिरकात् सहसूनुभिस्वैः गोसावसिन्ध्यमहिमा किडुरुत्थिदो मे नासा पुडात् किमु भवेद जिदस्य माया इत्थं विसन्तयदि तादरि शैलमात्रः सत्यो भवन् किल जगर्जितघोरघोरं तं ते निनादम् उपकर्ण्य जनस्तपस्ताः सत्यस्थिताश्च मुनयो नुनुर्भवन्तं तत्स्तोत्र हर्षुलमनाः परिणत्य भूयः धोयासयं मूर्तिरवाधरस्त्वम् ऊर्ध्वप्रसारी परिधूम्रविदूदरोमा प्रोत्क्षिप्तवालतिरवाङ्मुखघोरकोणः दूर्नप्रदीर्णजलदः परिपूर्णदक्षिणा स्तोतृन्मुनीन् शिशिरयन्नवधेरितत्वम् अन्तर्जलं तदनु शङ्कुलनक्रचक्रं भ्राम्यत्तिमिङ्गिलकुलं कलुषोर्मिमालम् आविश्य भीक्षणरवेन रसाधलस्तान् आगम्बयन् वसुमधीन् अगवेक्षयस्त्वं दृष्ट्वा दतैत्यहदकेन रसादलान्ते सन्वेषितां झटिति कूडकिटिर्विभोत्वम् आबादुघानविगणय शुरारिकेडान् दंष्ट्राङ्कुरेण वसुधाम् अददाः सलीलम् अभ्युत्तरन्नदरां दशनाक्रलग्नमुस्ताङ्कुराङ्गित इवादिग बीवरात्मा उत्तूदघोरसलिला जलते रुदञ्जन् क्रीडावराह बभुरीश्वर पाहि रोगात्. श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः.
Dashakam 14 Kapilopakhyanam. Samanusmrtatavakanghriyukmah Samanuh pankajasambhavangajanma Nijamantaramantaraaya heenam Charitam te katayan sukham ninaya Samaye khalu tatra kartamakyo Druhinachaya bhavattadiya vacha धृतसर्गरसो निसर्गरम्यं भगवं स्वां युतां समाशिषेवे गरुडोपरि कालमेघकन्द्रं विलसत्केलिसरोजपाणिपद्मं हसितोल्लसिताननं विभो त्वं वपुराविष्कुरुषे स्म कर्तमाय स्तुवते पुलकावृताय तस्मै मनुपुत्रीं दयितां न वापि पुत्रीः कपिलं च सुतं स्वमेव पश्चात् स्वगतिं चाप्यनुगृह्य निर्गतो भूः समनुष्यतरूपया महिष्या गुणवत्या सुतया च देवहूत्या भवदीरित नारदोपदिष्टः समगात् कर्तममागति प्रतीक्षम् मनुनोपहृतां च देवहूतिं तरुणीरत्नमवाप्य कर्दमूसौ भवदर्चननिर्वृतोऽपि तस्यां दृढशुश्रूषणया ददौ प्रसादं स पुनस्त्वदुपासनप्रभावात् दयिता कामकृते कृते विमाने वनिताकुलसङ्कुलो नवात्मा व्यहरत्येव पतेषु देवहूत्या शतवर्षमतव्यतीत्य सोऽयं नवकन्या समवाप्य धन्यरूपाः वनयानसमुद्यतोऽपि कान्ताहितकृत्वज्जननोत्सुको न्यवासीत् निजभद्रगिराभवन्निषेवा निरतायामत देवहूत्यां कपिलस्त्वं जायता जनानां प्रतयिष्यन् परमात्मतत्त्वविद्यां वनमेयुषि कर्दमे प्रसन्ने मत सर्वस्वम उपादिशं जनन्यै कपिलात्मकवायुमन्दिरेश त्वरितं त्वं परिपाहि मां गदौगात्। श्री कृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः।
Sujata Garu, you are 15, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. 15. Kapilopadesham. Matiriha gunasakta bhanda krutvesh sakta tu amruta krudu parundhe bhakti yogastu saktim mahadanugamalabhya bhakti revatra sadhya kapila tanuriti deva hyutyainyagadihi प्रकृति महदहंकाराच मात्राच भूतानि अपि हृदपि दशाक्षी पुरुषः पञ्चविंशः इति विदित विभागो मुच्यते सौ प्रकृत्या कपिलतनुरिति त्वं देवह्यूत्यैन्यगादीः प्रकृतिगत गुणौगैः नाज्यते पुरुषोऽयं यदि तु सजति तस्यां तद्गुणास्तं भजेरन्नु मदनु भजन तत्त्वालोचनैः साप्यपेयातु कपिलतनुरिति त्वं देवह्यूत्यैन्यगादीः विमलमतिरुपातैः आसनादैर्मदङ्गं गरुडसमधिरूढं दिव्यभूषायुधाङ्कम् रुचितुलिततमालं शीलयेतानुवेलं कपिलतनुरिति त्वं देवह्यूत्यैनगादीः मम गुणगणलीलाकन्ननैः कीर्तनाद्यैः मयि सुरसरिदोघप्रत्यचित्तानुवृत्तिः भवति परमभक्तिः सा हि मृत्योर्विजेत्री कपिलतनुरिति त्वं देवह्यूत्यैन्यगादीः अहह बहुलहिंसा सञ्चितार्थैः कुटुम्बं प्रतिदिनमनुपुष्टन्नु स्त्रीजितो बाललाली विशत हि गृहसक्तो यातनामय्य भक्तः कपिलतनुरिति त्वं देवह्यूत्यैन्यगादीः युवति जठर खिन्नो जात बोधोप्यकाण्डे प्रसव गलित बोधः पीडयोल्लङ्घ्य बाल्यं पुनरपि बत मुह्यत्येव तारुण्यकाले कपिलतनुरिति त्वं देवह्यूत्यैन्यगादीः पितृसुरगणयाजी धार्मिकायो गृहस्थः स च निपतति काले दक्षिणाद्वोपगामी मयि निहितमकामं कर्मदूत्पक्वतार्थं कपिलतनुरिति त्वं देवह्यूत्यैन्यगादीः इति सुविदितवेद्यां देवहे देवहूतिं कृतनुतिमनुगृह्य त्वं गतो योगिसङ्घैः विमलमतिरथासौ भक्तियोगेन मुक्ता त्वमपि जनहितार्थं वर्तसे प्रागुदीच्यां परम किमु बहुक्या त्वत्पदां भोजभक्तिं सकलभयविनेत्रीं सर्वकामोपनेत्रीं वदसि खलु दृढं त्वं तद्विधूयामयान्मे कुरु पवनपुरेश त्वय्युपादत्स्व भक्तिम्. 70 ध्रुवचरितवर्णनम्. उत्तानपादनुपतेर्मनुनन्दनस्य जाया बभूव सुचिर्नितरामभीष्टा अन्या सुनीतिरतिभर्तुरनादृता सा त्वामेव नित्यमगतिः शरणं गताभूत्. अङ्के पितुः सुरुचिपुत्रकमुत्तमं तं दृष्ट्वा द्रो किल सुनीतिसुतोऽधिरोक्ष्यन् आचिक्षिपे किल शिशुसुतरां सुरुच्या दुस्सन्त्यजा खलु भवद्विमुखैरसूया. सन्मोहितेऽपि तरि पश्यति दारवश्ये दूरं दुरुक्ति निहतः सगतो निजाम्बां स्वापि स्वकर्मगतिसन्तरणाय पुंसां त्वत्पादमेव शरणं शिशवे शशंसाम्. आकन्यसोऽपि भवदर्चन निश्चितात्मा मानी निरेत्य नगरात् किल पञ्चवर्षः सन्दृष्ट नारद निवेदित मन्त्रमार्गः त्वामारराध तपसा मधुकाननां ते. ताते विषण्ण हृदये नगरीं गतेन श्रीनारदेन परिसाम्पित चित्तवृत्तौ बालस्ततर्पितमनः कमवर्धितेन निन्ये कठोर तपसा किल पञ्चमासान्. तावत् तपोबलनिरुच्यसिते दिगन्ते देवार्तितस्त्वमुदयत् करुणार्द्रचेताः त्वद्रूपछिद्रसनिलीनमतेः पुरस्तादु आविर्बभूविथ विभो गरुडाधिरूढः. त्वद्दर्शन प्रमद भारत तरंगितं तं द्रुभ्या निमग्नमिव रूपरसायने ते तुष्टुषमाणमवगम्य कपोलदेशे संसृष्टवानसिधरेण तथादरेण. तावद्विबोध विमलं प्रणुवन्तमेनम् आभाषदास्त्वमवगम्य तदीय भावम् राज्यं चिरं समनुभूय भजस्व भूयः सर्वोत्तरं ध्रुवपदं विनिवृत्तिहीनम्. इत्यूचिषित्वैकते नृपनन्दनोऽसौ आनन्दिताखिल जनो नगरीमुपेतः रेमे चिरं भवदनुग्रहपूर्णकामः ताते गते च वनमादृतराज्यभारः. यक्षेण देव निहते पुनरुत्तमेऽस्मिन् यक्षैः स युद्धनिरतो विरतो मनुक्त्या शान्त्याः प्रसन्न हृदया धनदादुपेता तु त्वद्भक्तिमेव सुदृढा मृणोन्महात्मा. अन्ते भवत्पुरुषनीत विमानयातो मात्रा समं ध्रुवपदे मुदितो यमास्ते एवं सभृत्य जनपालनलोलधीस्त्वं वातालयाधिपनिरुन्धि ममा मयोघान्. कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः.
दशकं 22 अजामिलोपाख्यानम्. अजामिलो नाम महीसुरः पुरा चरन् विभो धर्मपथान् गृहाश्रमे गुरोर्गिराकाननमेत्य दृष्टवान् सुदृष्टशीलां कुलटां मदाकुलां स्वतः प्रशान्तोऽपि तदा हृताशयः स्वधर्ममृत्युज्यतया समारमन् अधर्मकारी दशमी भवन् पुनः दद्धो भवन्नामयुते सुते रतिं समृत्युकाले यमराज किङ्करान् भयङ्करां स्त्रीनभिलक्षयन् धिया पुरा मनाक्त्वस्मृतिवासना बलात् जुह्वावनारायण नामकं सुतं दुराशयस्यापि तद्दात्वा निर्गता त्वदीयनामाक्षरमात्र वैभवात् पुरो विपेतुर्भवदीय पार्षदाः चतुर्भुजाः पीतपटा मनोरमाः अमुञ्च सम्पाश्य विकर्षतो भटान् विमुञ्चते त्यारुर्बलादमी निवारितास्ते च भवज्जनैस्तदा तदीयपापं निखिलं यवेदयन् भवन्तु पापानि कदन्तु निष्कृते कृतेऽपि बोधण्डनमस्ति पण्डिताः न निष्कृतिः किं विदिता भवादृशाम् इति प्रभो त्वत्पुरुषा भवाशिरे श्रुतिस्मृतिभ्यां विहितिव्रतादयः पुनन्ति पापं न लुनन्ति वासनाम् अनन्तसेवा तु निकृतन्ति त्वया द्वयीत् इति द्वयीत् इति प्रभो त्वत्पुरुषा भवाशिरे अनेन भोजन्म सहस्रकोटिभिः कृतेषु पापेष्वपि निष्कृतिः कृता यदग्रहिन्नाम भयाकुलो हरेः इति प्रभो त्वत्पुरुषा भवाशिरे नृणाम बुद्ध्यापि मुकुन्द कीर्तनं दहत्यघौघान् महिमास्य तादृशः यदाग्निरेधांसि यदौषधं गदान् इति प्रभो त्वत्पुरुषा भवाशिरे इतिरितैर्याम्यभटैरपाश्रुते भवद्भटानां च गणे तिरोहिते भवस्मृति कञ्चन कालमाचरन् भवत्पदं प्रापि भवद्भटैरसौ स्वकिङ्करा वेद न शङ्कितो यमः त्वत्वन्धग्रीभक्तेषु न गम्यतामिति स्वकीयभृत्यान् अशिशुच्युदुच्चकैः सदैव वातालयनाथ पाहि माम्। श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः।
Dashakam 24, Prahallada Charita Varnanam. Hiranyakshe Potri Pravarvapusha Deva Bhavata Hate Shoka Krodha Glapita Dritiretasya Sahajah Hiranya Praramba Kashipu Amararati Sadasi Pratignya Matene Tavakilavadaartam Maduripo Vidataram Goram Sakalu Tapasitva Nachiratah Pura Sakshat Kurvan Suranara Mrigadyairanidanam Varam Labdva Dripto Jagadiha Bhavan Nayakamidam Parikshun Danindra Daharatah Daharata Divam Tvamaganayan Nihantum Tva Bhuyah Tava Padamavak Tasya Charipo Bahirdrishteranta Tatita Hridaye Sukshma Vapusha Nadannuchaihi Tatrapya Kila Bhuvanante Chamrigayan Biya Yatam Matva Sakalujita Kashi Nivavrute Tatosya Prahladaha Samajani Suto Garbhavasatau Muner Veena Pane Adigada Bhavat Bhakti Mahima Savai Jatya Daityah Shishurapi Sametya Tvairatim Gadastvad Bhaktanam Varada Paramodahharanatam Surarinam Hasyam Tava Charana Dasyam Nijasute Sadrishtva Dushtatma Guru Birashishikcha Chiramamum Guru Proktam Chasau Idamidam Abhadraya Dridamiti Apakurvan Sarvam Tava Charana Bhaktiyaiva Vavrude Aditeshu Shreshtam Kimiti Pariprushte Tatanaye Bhavad Bhaktim Vargyam Abhigadati Paryakuladritihi Gurubhyo Roshitva Sahajamati Rasyetya Bivadan Vadopayanasmin Vyatanuta Bhavat Padasharane Sashulairaviddaha Subahumatito Diggajaganaihi Mahasarpaidashtopi Anashanagara Vidutah Girindra Vakshiptopi Aha Paramatman Naivibo Tvayi Nyastyatmatva Kimapina Nipidama Vajata Tatashanka Vishtah स पुनरति दुष्टोऽस्य जनको गुरुक्त्या तद्गेहे किल वरुणपाशैस्तमरुणत् गुरो शासानिध्ये स पुनरनुगान्ध्यैत्यतनयान् भवद्भक्तेस्तत्त्वं परममपि विज्ञानमशिषत् पिता शृण्वन् बालप्रकरमखिलं त्वत्स्तुतिपरं रुषान्दः प्राहैन्यं कुलहतककस्ते बलमिति बलं मे वैकुण्ठः तव च जगतां चापि सबलं स एव त्रैलोक्यं सकलमिति धीरोयामगदति अरे क्वासौ सकल जगदात्मा हरिरिति प्रबिन्दे स्मस्तम्भं चलितकरवालोदिति सुतः अतः पश्चाद् विष्णो न हि वदितुमीशोऽस्मि सहसा कृपात्मन् विश्वात्मन् पवनपुरवासिन् मृडय माम् श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः। दशकं 25 नरसिंह अवतार वर्णनम्। स्तम्भे घट्टयतो हिरण्यकशिपोः कर्णौ समाचूर्णयन् आगूर्णज्जगदण्डकुण्डकुहरो घोरस्तवा भूद्रवः श्रुत्वायं किल दैत्यराज हृदये पूर्वं कदाप्यश्रुतं कम्पः कश्चन सम्पपात चलितोऽयं भोजभूर्विष्टरात् दैत्ये दिक्षु वृष्टुश्च चक्षुषि महासंरम्भिनी संवतः सम्भूतं न मृगात्मकं न मनुजाकारं वपुस्ते विभो किं भीषणमेतदद्भुतमिति व्युत्भ्रान्तचित्ते सुरे विस्फूर्जद्धवलोग्ररोम विकसत् वर्ष्मा समाजृम्भृताः तप्तस्वर्ण सवर्ण भूर्णदधिरुक्षाक्षं सटाकेसर प्रोत्कम्प प्रणिकुम्भिताम्बरमुः जीयात वेदं वपुः व्याप्त महादरी सकमुखं खड्गोग्रवल्गं महा जिह्वा निर्गम दृश्यमान सुमः द्रंष्ट्रायुगोड्डामरम् उत्सर्पद्वलिभङ्गभीषणहनुं ह्रस्वस्तवीयस्तरग्रीवं पीवरदोषशतोद्गतनकः क्रूरांशदूरोल्बनं व्योमोल्लङ्घि गणागणोपमगन प्रद्वाननिर्धावित स्पर्धालुप्रकरं नमामि भवतस्तन्नारसिंहं वपुः नूनं विष्णुरयं निहन्यमुमिति भ्राम्यद्गदाभीषणं दैत्येन्द्रं समुपाद्रवन्तमरुथा दोर्भ्यां पृथिव्याममुं वीरो निर्गलितोत खड्गफलकौ गृह्णन् विचित्रश्रमान् व्यावृण्वन् पुनरापपात भुवन ग्रासोद्यतं त्वामहो भ्राम्यन्तं दितिजादमं पुनरपि प्रोद्गृह्य दोर्भ्यां जवात् द्वारे तोरुयुगे निपात्य नकरान् व्युत्काय वक्षो भुवि निर्बिन्दन् नदीगर्भ निर्भरगल तक्ताम्बुबद्धोत्सवं पायमुदैरयो बहुजगत्संहारि सिंहारवान् त्यक्त्वा तं हतमाशु रक्तलहरी सिक्तोन्नमद्वर्ष्मणि प्रत्युत्पत्य समस्तदैत्यपटलीं चाकाद्यमाने त्वयि भ्राम्यद्भूमि विकम्पिताम्बुदिकुलं व्यालोलशैलोत्करं प्रोत्सर्पत्कचरं चराचरमहो दुस्ताम् अवस्थां तदौ तावन्मांसवपाकरालवपुषं घोरान्त्रमालादरं त्वामध्ये वकोपमुषितं दुर्वारगुर्वारवम् अभ्येतुं न शशाक कोऽपि भुवने दूरे स्थिता भीरवः सर्वे शर्वविरिञ्च वासममुखा प्रत्येकमस्तोषत भूयोऽप्यक्षतरोषधाम्नि भवति ब्रह्माज्ञया बालके प्रह्लादे पदयोर्नमत्यपभये कारुण्यभाराकुलः शान्तस्त्वं करमस्य मूर्ध्नि समदा स्तोत्रैरदोद्गायतः तस्या कामधियोऽपि ते नितवरं लोकाय चानुग्रहम् एवं नाटितरौद्रचेष्टित विभो श्रीतापनीयाभिद श्रुत्यन्तस्फुटगीत सर्वमहिमन् अत्यन्तशुद्धा कृते निखिलोत्तरं पुनरहो कस्त्वां परो लङ्घयेत् प्रह्लाद प्रिय हे मरुत्पुरपते सर्वामयात् पाहि मां प्रह्लाद प्रिय हे मरुत्पुरपते सर्वामयात् पाहि मां प्रह्लाद प्रिय हे मरुत्पुरपते सर्वामयात् पाहि मां। श्री कृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः।
दशकं 26 गजेन्द्र मोक्ष वर्णनम्। इन्द्रत्यमुनः पाण्ड्यखण्डादिराजः त्वद्भक्तात्मा चन्दनाद्रौ कदाचित् त्वत्सेवायां मग्नधीरालुलोके नैवागस्त्यं प्राप्तमातिथ्यकामम् कुम्भोद्भूति संभृत क्रोधभारः स्तब्धात्मा त्वं हस्तिभूयं भजेति शप्त्वाथैनं प्रत्यगात् सोऽपि लेभे हस्तीन्द्रत्वं त्वत्स्मृतिव्यक्तिधन्यं दुग्धाम्भोधेर्मध्यभाजी त्रिकूटे क्रीडन् शैले यूतपोऽयं वशाभिः सर्वान् जन्तून् अत्यवर्तिष्ठ शक्त्या त्वद्भक्तानां कुत्र नोत्कर्षलाभः स्वेन स्थेम्ना दिव्यदेशत्वशक्त्या सोऽयं खेदान् अप्रजानन् कदाचित् शैलप्रान्ते घर्मतान्तः सरस्यां यूथैः सार्धं त्वत्प्रणुन्नोभिरेमे भूहुस्तवा देवलस्यापि शापात् ग्राहीभूतस्तज्जले वर्तमानः जग्राहैनं हस्तिनं पाददेशे शान्त्यर्थं हि शान्तिदोषि स्वकानां त्वत्सेवाया वैभवा दुर्निरोधं युध्यन्तं तं वत्सराणां सहस्रं प्राप्ते काले त्वत्पदैकाग्र्यसिद्ध्यै नक्राक्रान्तं हस्तिवर्यं व्यधास्त्वम् आर्तिव्यक्तप्राक्तन ज्ञानभक्तिः शुण्डोक्षिप्तैः पुण्डरीकैः समर्चन् पूर्वाभ्यस्तं निर्विशेषात्मनिष्ठं स्तोत्रं श्रेष्ठं सोन्वगादीत् परात्मन् श्रुत्वा स्तोत्रं निर्गुणस्थं समस्तं ब्रह्मेशाद्यै नाहमित्यप्रयाते सर्वात्मा त्वं भूरि कारुण्यवेगात् ताक्षर्यारूढः प्रेक्षितो भूः पुरस्तात् हस्तीन्द्रं तं हस्तपद्मेन धृत्वा चक्रेण त्वं नक्रवर्यं व्यदारीः गन्धर्वेऽस्मिन् मुक्तशापे सहस्ति त्वत्सारूप्यं प्राप्य देदीप्यते स्म एतद्वृत्तं त्वां च मां च प्रगेयो गायेत् सोऽयं भूयसे श्रेयसे स्यात् इत्युक्त्वैनं तेन सार्धं गतस्त्वं धिष्ण्यं विष्णो पाहि वातालयेश। श्रीकृष्णाय ब्रह्मणे नमः।
दशकं 27 अमृतमदने कूर्मावतार वर्णनम्। दुर्वासासुरवनिताप्त दिव्यमाल्यां शक्राय स्वयमुपदाय तत्र भूयः नागेन्द्र प्रतिमृदिते शशापशक्रं काक्षान्ति स्वपितरदेवतां सजानां शापेन प्रदितझरेधनिज्जरेन्द्रे देवेष्वित्यसुरजितेषु निष्प्रभेषु सर्वाद्या कमलजमेत्य सर्वदेवा निर्वाण प्रभव समं भवन्तमापुः ब्रह्माद्य स्तुतमहिमा चिरं तदानीं प्रादुष्यन् वरदपुरः परेण धाम्ना हे देवादितिजकुलैर्विदाय सन्धिं पीयूषं परिमदेत्तेति पर्यसास्त्वम् सन्दानं कृतवति दानवैः सुरौघे मन्दानं नयति मदेन मन्दराद्रिम् भ्रष्टेऽस्मिन् भदरम् इवोद्वहान् खगेन्द्रे सद्यस्थं विनहितवान् पयः पयोधौ आधाय द्रुतमदवासुकीं वरत्रां पादोदौ विनहित सर्वबीजजाले प्रारब्धे मदनविदौ सुरासुरैस्तैः व्याजात्वं भुजगमुखे करोऽसुरारीन् क्षुब्धाद्रौ शुभितजलोदरे तदानीं दुग्धाब्धौ गुरुतरभारतो निमग्ने देवेषु व्यधिततमेघतत्प्रियैषी प्राणैषी खमततनुं कठोरपृष्ठाम् वज्रातिस्थिरतरकर्परेण विष्णो विस्तारात् परगतिलक्षयोजनेने अम्बोदेः कुहरगतेन वर्ष्णनात्मं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनादम् उन्निनेध उन्मग्ने जुटिति तदा धराधरेन्द्रे निर्मेदुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितीयगणेऽपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशयन्न बिभ्रदस्तान् उद्धामभ्रमणजवोन्नद्धरीन्द्र न्यस्तैकस्थिरतरहस्तपङ्कजं त्वाम् अभ्रान्ते विधिगरशादयः प्रमोदात् उद्भ्रान्ता निनुगुरुपात्त पुष्पवर्षाः दौत्येघो भुजगमुखानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव त्रिदशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्यात् तव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन्न मरगणान्न दैत्यसङ्घान् उद्भ्रामद्भ्यहुतिमिन चक्रवाले तत्राब्धौ चिरमदितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगपृष्ठसर्पराजः सम्राजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात् श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः.
So we'll stop here because I think 30, 31 will go together, and also nobody has picked up 31. So I don't know if that was missed. But anyway, so you picked 31, Ram? Okay. Anyway, we'll do it 30, 31 next because we won't be able to finish both today. So we'll continue in the next class. Okay. सान्ध्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्यां निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनरुरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावद्भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानां कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you everyone. So next class we'll continue from 30. We'll finish up to 100. And then I want to do Narayana Kavacham I'm going to teach, and then we'll start the next session of the 30 Dasakams. Okay. So I'll send the details of that on WhatsApp.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Anand.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anush.
I got the book. Yeah, I got.
Super, okay. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.